öğrenci,
öğrenci,
öğrenci,
öğrenci,
sanatçı,
sanatçı,
şarkıcı,
şarkıcı, şarkıcı. Okay, c here, ç, g, but all meaning agentive, I think. So you put it on a verb stem and derive an agentive noun for the doer of the thing, one who sings, I think will be the structure of this. So what I'm saying is the last two sounds in each of these words are different surface variants of what is underlyingly a single thing, depending on the phonetic environment. Oh, no, it's just two different shapes. Here, G, spelled with a C, J, okay, the vowels are different. So overall, three different shapes here, but all of the same sort of thing. The features, those differences between a voiced J and a voiceless Ch, you can predict based on the environment. Voiceless T here, and the is predicted by the preceding A. The E quality, high front, predicted by the in the syllable preceding.
sanatçı,
Sanatçı,
sekreter,
secrétaire happens to also have vowel harmony, but it's from French,
ben ressamım,
which are wordless too in English. Ben I ressamım. Some kind of compound maybe, not harmonic between e and a, but the
ressamım,
harmonizes there. Painter. So not really a verb present. I am a painter. It's I, ben, and then ressam, painter, and then an ending that agrees with I. So this is verb-like. It's a verbal enclitic or suffix. Looks like it means I am my painter. So maybe... Alright, forgive the jargon if these are all meaningless new terms to you, but I think this high vowel M suffix is first singular, so meaning I, me, reference to me. It's a verbal enclitic. Zero root.
sekreter,
Secrétaire. Meaning secretary. Secrétaire. Voiceless R at the end.
şarkıcılar ekmek yer,
Okay, lar there on the first word. That suffix shows plural. Ekmek, an unmarked, unsuffixed one, will have a general meaning. Eats bread.
yer,
Root are the ending there. And şarkıcı was artist, plural. So the a conditions of the
şarkıcılar,
it predicts that it's that quality in this suffix. Here, and then that in turn allows a here. They belong to
şarkıcılar,
one set of vowels. The vowel space is sort of divided into halves, where only similar ones occur together in derived words like this. Şarkıcılar. Derived are inflected. Şarkıcı again was artists. Eat bread. Singers. Shark singers.
iyi bir kariyeri var,
İyi bir kariyeri var. So I think this is a good career, right? Good. Just like Japanese E.
kariyeri var,
There is. So the existential verb. Good. It is a good career. As close as English gets. He has. Okay. Okay, right. Well, there is.
var,
Not identifying, not the copula there, but existential basically.
yönetmen, yönetmen,
like a movie director or company director. Yönetmen.
Yönetmen.
Dictionary. Very thorough coverage of this kind of stuff. Yönetmek. With all the different inflected forms. Film director. Okay, good. Thank you. And where does it come from? Yönetmek. Yönetmen. So tell me, yönet. This is the third person, singular, simple, present. Yönetir, govern. Oh, this is the form. The inflected. Yönetir, right with an R. Yönetmek, govern, manage, administer, rule, concentrate on, or direct. Okay.
Bu yönetmen çok iyi. Bu yönetmen çok iyi.
Bu yönetmen çok iyi is very good. That director is very good. Or this. Bu yönetmen çok iyi. This director is very good. So unless the iyi is like a verbal adjective, this could also be seen as a verbless sentence.
Oyuncu.
Oyuncu.
Oyuncu.
Actor, player, actress. Oyuncu. It's a nice looking word. Okay, C for the voiceless J. Oyuncu. See the O's sort of intersecting in a crossword puzzle.
Bir sekreterin kariyeri.
One. Sekreterin looks like the German feminine.
Sekreterin.
Okay, no. It looks like it. It's not that. Possessive form. Sekreter being the noun stem. And then in suffix is chosen. That
Sekreterin.
is closest to the qualities of e. Kariyeri. Secretary's career. The career of a secretary. So sort of
Sekreterin.
pertinence, meaning connection. There we go.
Sekreterin.
Bir the numeral 1. So here, it's with the noun for secretary. That's what the bir is quantifying. And the kariyeri is the head noun of the larger noun phrase that embraces all of this.
Ben menüyü okurum.
I request order.
Okurum.
Read. Okur is the inflectional stem that's shared by all the finite forms. With the first person marking. So okurum, I read. One menu, and with the accusative suffix means a single one. Ben means I, so it's I, menu, accusative, read. The menu. Refers to a specific incident rather than generally being a menu reader, which would have no suffix, just menu. Menu okurum, I am a menu reader, read it from time to time. Versus menüyü okurum, I read or read the menu.
Tarkan bir şarkıcı, oyuncu değil.
Tarkan bir şarkıcı, singer, one singer, oyuncu değil.
Tarkan bir şarkıcı, oyuncu değil. Oyuncu.
Değil. Oyuncu değil.
Değil. Oyuncu.
Actor not. Değil. Tarkan, is that a name?
Tarkan.
Oh, we just need to say it. Tarkan is a singer, not an actor.
Oyuncu.
Tarkan bir şarkıcı, oyuncu değil. Oyuncu değil. Let's hear it.
Tarkan bir şarkıcı, oyuncu değil.
Şarkıcı, oyuncu değil.
Tarkan bir şarkıcı, oyuncu değil.
So I'm hearing
Şarkıcı.
higher tone on the last syllables
Değil.
here. Tarkan though.
Tarkan bir şarkıcı, oyuncu değil.
Sounds all high toned to me. Bir şarkıcı, oyuncu değil.
Tarkan bir şarkıcı, oyuncu değil.
Değil. G being the softened G with the bold
Değil.
mark softens, deletes the G sounds. No, nothing there
Ressam bir sanatçıdır.
in this particular word. Ressam bir sanatçıdır. So this one looks derived by suffixes that harmonize. Ressam.
Ressam.
Painter, this is going to be all one noun phrase. A something painter. Better not.
Sanatçıdır.
Painter topic. Painter, and then the comment part, verbless. One artist. Painter is an artist. Don't think there's a suffix on there. Is there? This will
Sanatçıdır.
show me the dictionary form. Could say there's a zero ending. Painter is an artist.
Bir sekreterin kariyeri. Bir sekreterin kariyeri. Bir sekreterin kariyeri.
Birin, possessive, one secretaries, carriere, I think like that, which seems to have a German or French model, borrowing source, carrieri. Bir sekreterin was alright, and then carrieri.
Bir sekreterin kariyeri.
So those final high vowels get lowered on the down step instead of the up step of Brazilian. Lowering of that weak final vowel, is what I'm saying. Carriere.
Bir sekreterin kariyeri.
Carriere. Or just schwa.
Yönetmen kahveyi içer.
Kahve. Is that D voiced V or what is that?
Yönetmen kahveyi içer.
Kahve. You know, I think it's a ha coda. Veyi içer. This has the accusative, I think. Drinks the coffee, referring to a definite event. Yönetmen kahveyi içer.
Yönetmen kahveyi içer.
So here the one high tone
Yönetmen.
on men. Yönetmen kahveyi içer. The rest low.
Oyuncu.
Oyuncu all low. Tones, I mean. Oyuncu means artist, actor. Oyuncu. Actor. Oyuncu. Enjoy acting. Enjoy oyuncu.
Ressam bir sanatçıdır.
Ressam bir sanatçıdır. Oh, thing has slept on me. Let's see if anybody. Okay. Ressam bir sanatçıdır. Ressam bir sanatçıdır. Ressam bir sanatçıdır. Painter, one artist. Subject is, or the topic is that single word, and then phrase is the comment part of the sentence.
Şarkıcılar ekmek yer.
Şarkıcılar ekmek yer. Şarkıcılar, singers, eat bread, generally.
İyi bir kariyeri var.
İyi bir kariyeri var. He has a good career.
Bir sekreterin kariyeri.
Bir sekreterin possessive kariyeri. Bir sekreterin kariyeri. Kariyeri. Alright, welcome back to Lango Institute. I'm your verb ally. Starting tonight with a bit of Turkish. I think let's spend a bit of time on Chinese, specifically on modern simplified characters. I think this is the right one. So, 简体中文 simplified character shapes. So what this website does is it lets you draw a character. It's a little too close because then it finds the one, or it gives you what it feels are close matches for what you're going for, and you just select the one there, and it gives you that digital character to then, copy paste. So here we see simplified ones. There's fewer strokes in many of not all, but lots of the characters, the basic traditional ones, are modified to sort of save a bit of ink, I suppose, and a bit of time when you're writing them by hand. I wish that would stay awake. Okay. QHANZI.com for this one. So, language, Chinese. My other favorite thing to use, I'll use the express form today of 仓颉 or CJ input, which is graphic decomposition. I'll try to call that as I go. We'll get that as needed. Where are you? Yeah. Okay.
Xu,
It's like need to. Takes a verb.
随,
To follow. 随 again.
随,
So, let's read them from right. 变 or 偏 also is there.
变,
That one's more common. 虚
虚,
So this one means like convenient, basically. Lots of meanings there, though. 虚 to need to. 随 to follow.
随,
您 formal you.
您, 随, 变,
变 convenient.
您,
您 you formal. 虚
虚,
您想买什么？
你想买什么 to change thirds there. 你想 sounding rising. 买 What do you want to buy? You want to buy what? We put the question word first in English. What do you want to buy?
我只是随便看看。
我只是 I am just 随便 is a nice expression. 看看随便 means sort of willingly following my fancy, however I feel, at my leisure, that sort of a meaning. It's a verb object phrase. Follow the convenience. 随便我只是 I'm just sort of browsing. So follow convenience.
看
Look and look is the one way to break that one down. I'm just browsing. So we have in English this very specific meaning verb here. Chinese, these are all common
变
components in other verb phrases. 您 the formal.
您
请帮忙一下。
请帮忙一下. 帮忙 is just a two-syllable word meaning help, I think intransitive. Can be transitive if you break it apart. The mang as a sort of pseudo object. But
帮
bang always means help. Mainly means help. 请 request help, and then 一下 one time, sort of one situation. Please help me. It's a way to soften a request. Please help me once. Help a bit. Okay. I don't think I was well. The me is not really. Oh.
您需要什么？
Pragmatically, though, it would be help me, would be the meaning. 您需要什么? What do you need? Put the word order and phrase order. You need what? 变
变
随
随
follow. 您 you formal.
您
变
变商
commerce.
需您需要帮忙吗？
Need help? 您 do okay, just English. Do you need help? You need help? Yes or no? 随
随
您
您
商
商
变
变需请随便做。
请随便做 Say whatever you like. Is how I take it. Yeah, anywhere you like. So again, a verb-object phrase, if you break it down in Chinese, follow your sort of implied
变
convenience, sit.
您想买什么？您
想买
想买
really a compound, but want and then to buy. 买什么？
您想买什么？什么？随便你。
随便你 suit yourself. Let's word bank this. It's up to you. So whatever's convenient unto you.
我现在不需要你的帮忙。
现在不需要你的帮忙. I don't need your help now. Oh, you can use the spacebar to toggle.
请帮忙一下。
请帮忙一下. Give a little help. Please help a bit. Please help a bit. Maybe a little.
请帮忙一下。
It's made it insultingly
帮
for me. I'll still mess it up. Please help a bit. We got that. Alright, we didn't get to characters, but let's look at. No thanks. Here. Okay, let's delete first. Let's do 随便. So the simplified form. Those two for the left side. Then you would do this yo shape to have. It's really a simplification of a somewhat more complex traditional character. And then you have this L-shaped enclosure of motion. Say there. Okay, that's the one I want. I clicked it and it's produced it for me there. 变一二人字旁. So for an enclosure, always in this order. Okay, and then the downward starts from the top, goes through. Alright, the proportions are not great there, but it got it. 随便. Let's look at the traditional shapes. And this is the express method in green here on the green page. Starts with so first character here, I'm looking at this one that I selected. Starts with an N, ends with a B in both simplified and traditional. And then bien, yeah, there it is. Bien starts with an O, ends with a K with those crossing lines. And it's the third one, 随便. So here, the top right component in the first character, get nice and close, has 左, the left hand, and then the meat radical, so rho ultimately there, looking like the moon shape, a B in CJ, and the Y enclosure, OMLWK if you had 4 available, etc. You get the idea? Okay. But it would probably be good to talk generally about stroke order if you're learning to write Chinese, which I recommend. You can, do the Duolingo course without acquiring the skill to write. That takes extra work. So I really like this input system. It's sort of an intermediate step. It lets you get your hands on the characters and produce satisfactory results, right? So any string of letters. A is the sun. B. Most short strings of letters will produce at least a few characters, or lead to. This one's got this nice auto predict. So that's A and B in the system. If you now type AB, it selects this character that combines those. So it breaks things down into 24 discrete basic character shapes. And the green page here is the faster version of that. Okay. Next here. Please. Alright. Let's go back to Turkish. Maybe let's switch over to this for a bit. Dative.
Onlar bana bir kitap okurlar.
Onlar, they, human plural, I think. Bana bir kitap okurlar. One book, maybe an adjective for it.
Kitap.
Arabic book, and then okurlar, they read it. They read.
Bana.
Cool. So ben, the basic form, I, me. Bana, with a change in the vowel, and an
Bana.
N for me. They read me a book. So we've just seen one verb tense so far, as in most of the courses. Yeah, it's better.
Onlar bize bir kitap okur.
Onlar, they, bize bir kitap okur. So here, same plural subject, but the verb doesn't have the lar suffix on it. Is it just vary however you like with no change in meaning, or is there some significant difference? I would love to know if you know. Why are you like this? Bize,
Bize.
to us. Biz, first plural. They read a book to us. Bir kitap, not marked accusative. To us. Bize, with harmonic vowels. They read us a book.
Kadın bana kitabı okur.
Kadın bana kitabı okur. Kadın bana kitabı okur.
Kadın bana kitabı okur.
Kadın bana, so I hear a preference for high tone on the last syllable of the word.
Kadın bana kitabı okur.
Kitabı okur. The lady reads me the book, definite.
Okur.
Accusative.
Kitabı.
Kadın bana kitabı okur. Kitabı. Reads me the book. Exactly.
Ben size bir kitap okurum.
Bize. That's going to be sen, you plural. To you, ben, I read a book. I read a book to you. There we go. Size. So these we call dative, the case of the person to whom something is given, granted. It's the recipient of the verbal action.
Ben sana bir kitap okurum.
Sana, to you singular. I to you, one book, I read it. I read a book to you. Ben sana bir kitap okurum.
Ben sana bir kitap okurum.
Sana bir kitap okurum. So it stays voiceless here.
Ben sana bir kitap okurum.
Significant. It's between vowels,
Kitap.
but the word boundary makes a difference. Not kitap okurum, kitap okurum. So a difference from Korean there, it would voice it like that if it were a P.
Kitap. Ben sana bir kitap okurum.
I read a book to you.
Biz size gazeteleri okuruz. Biz size gazeteleri okuruz.
Size, dated, to you, plural.
Biz size gazeteleri okuruz.
Gazeteleri Leri. Spelled with I think. Okuruz.
Biz size gazeteleri okuruz.
Gazeteleri okuruz. So we read, and the uz harmonizes with biz. It agrees with it. To you plural. Size. The newspaper. Newspapers. Right. Gazeteler for plural. Here non-human. Just plural noun. Ler. I think on a verb it would only be if a human third plural subject was there to agree with.
O onlara bir kitap okur.
Okay. O onlara, two separate words.
Onlara. O onlara bir kitap okur.
Bir kitap okur. One book, but not accusative. O the singular, he or she. To them, onlara. Bir kitap reads. One book, a book. To them. Okur.
Ben ona bir kitap okurum.
Ben ona. I to him or her. Bir kitap okurum.
Ona.
It, yeah, just undifferentiated for gender in the third person there. I read a book to her. The is the agreement suffix that harmonizes
Ben.
ben. I think this might have been a bem at an earlier stage.
Ben size bir kitap okurum.
Ben size bir kitap okurum. Ben size, I to you plural. Read a book. Ben size bir kitap okurum.
Onlar bize menüyü okurlar.
Onlar bize menüyü okurlar.
Onlar bize menüyü okurlar.
Menüyü okurlar. Onlar bize menüyü okurlar. Bize to us. They to us. The menu read. Read the menu to us. Onlar has no case marking at the end, just a zero, if you will, for the subject. Bize, this has a dative suffix. Menüyü, accusative, the thing that is read, direct object. Okurlar, this shows
Okurlar.
they subject of the verb, they read.
O bize gazeteyi okur.
O bize, to us, he, she, to us, the newspaper reads. O bize gazeteyi okur.
Biz onlara bir kitap okuruz.
Bir kitap okuruz.
Biz onlara bir kitap okuruz.
Bir kitap. So, is the R here voiced or voiceless?
Biz onlara bir kitap okuruz.
Bir kitap okuruz. Too silent to really tell. Biz here.
Biz onlara bir kitap okuruz.
Which might suggest it's voiceless. If it's at the end of a phrase, you can hear clearly the RD voices. Between vowels, it's going to be a voiced one. But biz seems to be distinct, if there is even word final S. Clearly voiced in coda there. Biz onlara bir kitap okuruz. Let's hear the sentence final one.
Biz onlara bir kitap okuruz.
Maybe devoiced there. Okay, so it's biz we okuruz, we read. Bir kitap, a newspaper. A newspaper. Onlara, to them. So on third person. Lar, plural, a, dative. Newspaper, book, silly me. We read them a book. Yeah, we can drop the to, move the beneficiary object, the dative,
Ona kitap oku.
sooner in the sentence. That is ona, to him, her. Read a book. Read books. Oku without the R for the imperative. Ona kitap oku. So nice string of voiceless ones. Kitap oku.
Ona kitap oku.
Kitap oku. Oku. Not an U there at the end.
Ona kitap oku.
centralizing in the direction of schwa, I think.
Biz onlara bir gazete okuruz.
Biz onlara bir gazete okuruz. Biz we to them one newspaper, gazete, not accusative marked. Okuruz, we read it. Biz onlara bir gazete okuruz.
O ona bir gazete okur.
Bir gazete okur. This final R clearly devoices there. Shh. It's sort of a whistling S-like sound.
O ona bir gazete okur.
Shh. It's a voiceless trill. Rrr. Well, not even a trill. It's held there. Brr. It'll be more of a tap between vowels.
Gazete. O ona bir gazete okur. Gazete.
Bir here, I think.
Bir.
Well, between voices.
Bir.
Bir
Gazete.
easy to voice there. And it's he, she, to him, her. One newspaper reads. O ona bir gazete okur.
Çocuk sana gazeteyi okur.
Child, I think. Sana, to you, gazeteyi okur.
Çocuk.
Çocuk sana gazeteyi okur.
Siz bana gazeteyi okursunuz.
Siz bana gazeteyi okursunuz.
Siz bana gazeteyi okursunuz.
Siz bana gazeteyi okursunuz.
Siz bana gazeteyi okursunuz.
Siz bana gazeteyi okursunuz. You plural, to me, bana, yeah, ben, bana. The newspaper, you read it. Siz bana gazeteyi okursunuz. Read me the newspaper.
Biz onlara bir kitap okuruz.
Biz onlara, we to them, bir kitap okuruz. We read one book. We read them. Okay, let's see if we get to write more this time. Time 3.
秒
Now is used for the second as a unit of time. So, write as much as I like. Let's just jump over there. It's the green on the left. Downward first stroke. R, san, si, o. Meow. What does it have? Ooh, overdid it a bit there. No, I can't see you. Let me refresh. Oh, there we go. Secretary related to secret, I believe so. Arabic word for book got devoiced when they loaned it. Kitab. Is it kitab? The book. Let's see. Would not have been a B because Arabic lacks a B. A P rather. Arabic lacks a P. So yeah, changed it. But what's the accusative suffixed form? Google translates what I want to Turkish. I read the book. Kitap okurum. I ate the book. Kitabı. So, maybe it's a B underlyingly. Yedim. I haven't seen this for the past. Ye is the root. So, yeah. Looks that way, Levi. But I can't see it on my device. That's unfortunate. Because it's a little bit of... Okay, maybe I'll just... If I do that... Can I keep an eye on it? Give that a no. Let me just... Alright. Okay. Baby stepping. Get used to the possibilities here.
Cool.
Okay, cool. It was carve, I think, basically. Let's write it. It has a bunch of disparate meanings. Ke can mean quarter hour also. Hey Levi, what do you think is a good way to write the undotted letter I? Getting sort of rough and ready, like notepad transliteration. Alright, not there. Let's go to ke. Okay, and to write it, so clear all this. So the left stroke deletes all, the one on the right with the circle icon, circle arrow, undoes your last stroke. So back button. 这个图片 Huh. Oh, download this image, I guess. 图片 Scheme slice. Alright, let's clear that. Okay, here it's clear on the left and then look up, search on the right. Alright, and we're doing ke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Forgive my chicken scratch for the left side. And then it's the standing knife. Ke. Okay, so it's one way to retrieve it. And then take it to something to look it up, find out more. That's these nice sideways actions. What's it going to be in CJ Levi, this ke character? 这个 guess it would be any of these similar for dotless I. Pipe. I like exclamation and one. Yes, excellent suggestions all. I might choose one of those. One from among them, namely one. Okay. Ke. So Levi, how would you, in the two-stroke express variant here, input this ke character? How could you get ke? And let's find out more about what it means. It's in the ge phonetic series with semantic knife there. Ke or ke. Carve, cut, a notch, engrave. Yeah. Draw, adorn, cut, scratch, rigorously demand. Alright, these look pretty arcane and specialized, these meanings here. But moment in time, that one I've encountered. A unit of time, 15 minutes. And this, I think, is a borrowing into Cantonese of the first syllable of the word quarter of English. Quat. Does that hold water? What is it in Cantonese? Hak. No. Hak for quarter is not a good match. That can't be right. I think of another one. Scratch that anyway. So, YN for express. Okay, let's see what else that pulls up. Very good. We've got 处, like to deal with. 剧 for drama. Ke there, yeah. So the two-stroke, we name the first component that you would write, and then the last. That bendy one there, an N. Also gets us 赢, ding, or is it ding? Falling, maybe. This one is 朋, I think, 横, and so on. 记 here for detergent, among other things. 亭, pavilion. I think this is chi, up to. This one I don't recall the reading. It's P initial, or labial. On with the show. Yeah, we write as much as we like, can't we? Question about this. Ke, isn't there a hai that looks like it? Let's do hai. I think it's this one that you mean. Excellent question. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then our L-shaped enclosure. Hai, is this one you have in mind? Hai 2. There are a few other hai 2 characters, I believe. Second tone is what we mean by the use of 2 there. Alright, meow we're looking for. And let's read them from the left. For the cup, 杯,
杯
glass. Pi doesn't mean anything on its own. It's used to write the word beer, pi.
皮
Our ke we were
Ke.
considering. Finally, miao.
秒
Let's look at P. It's an interesting one to input.
1秒
That is not what I mean. Levi says, I swear there was one with the same left half. There's plenty, yeah. So a good way to look that up. Still got it here. I still got it. And I've got it here pulled up already too, but go to thy Wikipedia. There is a nice drop-down menu. So in the Chinese, under the Chinese heading, this box that shows up near the top, characters in the same phonetic series. Look at this wonderfully sorted list. I mean, no perceivable order to me there, unless it's some phonetic thing. Complexity of the syllable. But anyway, this is one scholar's reconstructed Old Chinese sounds, combined with everything, more or less, probably more exotic characters not included, but a pretty thorough coverage of the ones that share this as a phonetic component. You can call it a harmonic series of characters. So, you said you wanted the same left half. Let's see. Here we've got the phonetic on the right. Here it's on the bottom. Now here on the left, but I don't know this one. Don't recall seeing it. So, woman, silk, sun, mountain. Naming the other components there. The person, probably the flesh radical. Here with the head on the right. With big on top with the car. With the yawning chasm on the right. Oh, you might be thinking of this one, Levi. So clear all. This is, I think, the most common in that set, in that harmonic series we were just looking at. High. Yeah. Starts with a Y stroke, and then a V. This H it would be, and then an O figure under that. Right? Is this the one that thou hast in mind? Oh, this is also high. 对. Silly me. So there, 孩子. What is a 孩子? Let's get a phonetic keyboard to write this. Go over here to C for Chinese. Pinyin. The word I have in mind. Let's get in there. HAI2. And then the suffix z toneless. This has got to be what you mean, right, Levi? This sound. What does this word mean written with that character? And what would be the express input there? So, 孩子是什么？是什么意思？孩子用孩子英文怎么说？ Maybe looked familiar, yeah. I think in this set here, that's the only one. So what does a 孩子 mean? What's 孩子 mean? We could also say 孩子们 if that helps you. Sort of pin down the meaning. Man is very restricted where it occurs. This one I've seen mean like bone or body in general, I think. Ke we were just looking at, yeah, really the only candidate. 孩子是什么意思? We are continuing 1秒, 1 second.
明天早上10点一刻我会去工作。
明天早上10点一刻我会去工作。
明天早上10点一刻我会去工作。
我会去工作。I will go to
工
Same word order there. And then here we organize, and for the time part of the sentence, which you could regard as the topic, it's all in a logical order from largest unit to short to smallest. 明天早上10点一刻. Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock and 1/4. 10:15 tomorrow morning. 会去工作 I'll go to work. At 10:15 tomorrow morning. Aha. Objection, Your Honor. Okay, let's try to do 10:15 next time. Be closer to the original. Alright, so 知 is juice.
知
Shao is a spoon.
勺
Miao, second.
秒
This is a nice arrangement. 2 tones, 1 first, second, third, fourth. In order. 克
克
Voilà. Let's do Shao. It's a nice quick one. 1 2 3 Shao. What's going to be the CJ input for Shao spoon?
"现在差一刻5点。
现在差一刻5点. So lacking 1/4, 5 o'clock, it's a 4:45 now. Bowl, this one.
碗
It's nice. Wan with the third tone mark. It's got a bowl, a very angular one, on top of it to remind us of the meaning. Miao is the second of time.
秒
Grain. Ke
克
with the knife. Pan,
盘
tinsel on the bottom. Bei
杯
with the tree on the left.
给我10秒。
给我10秒. Give me 10 seconds. H and M I'll use, but I don't know the order for spoon. Very good. H and the M is for 是什么? To write high. N M H. Okay, N for the enclosure. No, so there is one variant of the heart that is, let's see if I just type a P. This one doesn't do it, but other input ones will show you the components. So it's the one, it's the outside. So in PRU, that writes bao. This top enclosure one is a variant of the P heart set of forms. So to write spoon, it's that and I. Either system will retrieve it. I for the dot. P for the enclosure of the spoon. And I for the dot inside. That's also an, ooh, little dorky with that zoomed in. There it is, number 7. Kaboom. Shao. So here it writes it as a straight line with an M stroke. It's just a variant shape, meaningless variation. Remember, it's proper to write it with that I downward dot stroke. Shao is that spoon.
勺
Pan,
盘
tray. Dao,
刀
miao.
秒
Ke,
克
9点差一刻。
9点差一刻. Quarter past 9 o'clock. Quarter 2. Oh yeah, lacking. So it's 9 o'clock. Lack 1/4. Got to be more mindful there.
给我10秒。
给我10秒. Give me 10 seconds. We'll write it all here by hand. 给, the simplified silk radical is just 3 strokes. I never learned to write it beautifully. 3 strokes there. A and M. Sorry, O and M, and then R for the mouth below. 给 is the first one. 我. This is the same in simplified and traditional shapes. End it with that dot on top. HQI. 10, the numeral 10, is one of the basic CJ components. Letter J. And then miao, grain on the left. And shao on the right. It's a little bit slanted where the good conditions here. Let's set that up a little better. 给我10秒. So this "给" is very important. To give, or as a preposition, to this one. So, question, Levi. What would be the CJ, the two-stroke for that one? "给." The easy one, I think. Please don't be insulted by the easiness of the question there. But show for us how handy it is to know the breakdown. Alright, where are we? Duolingo, we get there. What's this sense? 给我10秒.
给我10秒。
10秒. 给我10秒.
在地铁里我们不准吃饭。
不准吃饭. Let's decode it, reading it from the end. HH. Why is that meow? Is it he? Why is it meow? What do you mean exactly? But when you say why is it meow, I have an idea. But how does it come to have an M initial? If it's shao, yeah, is he? It is he and shao. Neither sound like meow. Well, the shao does rhyme with it. That's not nothing. What it most likely is result of a cluster somewhere, a prefix added, so maybe an original sh with the root there, but with an M prefix sh, giving a ma, something like that. People have thought about that. There's several M initial words in that phonetic series. Let's take a look, see which ones I know. So it's actually not HH. Oh, sorry. H. This one. I was thinking of a different one. Yeah, this is HH, exactly. Where is it? A lot of HHs, I guess. Oh, wrong one. Haha, that makes a difference. Okay, yeah, some interesting ones. D. D. For ordinal prefix. Shen. O. B. No, me, rather. Meow. Okay, so what else in this series has an M? There's one with a woman radical that has an M. Meow. Falling tone. I wish... Oh no, it's going to show us his this scholar's reconstruction. I think we have to expand that one. Top of the Chinese section, characters in the same phonetic series. So this scholar, Zheng Zhang, I think it is. He reconstructs smbra clusters in some words with a voiceless nasal. Sra sequence here. Smra, sm, and the simple M here. So for shao, he thinks that comes from smelt, which it could well. And oh, that's xiao. Sorry, that's smelt. And then shao is from miao. Or I don't know what that is really. He's got the voiceless symbol here, but not here. The sequence of things. But anyway, you get the idea. So probably somewhere, at least in some of these words, some kind of cluster is the likeliest explanation. Oh, and I didn't ever input that. So this "gay," that's why I said no to the HH, but I hadn't input it yet. Gay, a really important high frequency word. What'll that be in the green window? Yeah, I'll call it the orange in the green window. How about that? "在地铁里，我们不准吃饭。Eat food at the end.
吃饭。
Not allow. 不准。我们 we. Then
在地里
is the inside of the subway. 在 a positional verb. We can't eat. We're not allowed to eat on the subway. We're not allowed to eat food on the subway.
我们有30秒。
我们有30秒。秒。Third, right? Third tone? 秒。
我们有30秒。
Meow. Can't really tell. We have 30 seconds.
我们有30秒。
in that field. There we go. 30 seconds. So, what's the first and last for this gay character? To give, toward.
7点差10分。
7点差10分. 7 o'clock, lacking 10 minutes. 10 to 7.
他昨天晚上9点3刻睡觉。
他昨天 let's hear it. Just
他昨天晚上9点3刻睡觉。
9点3刻，3刻 ，OK， 睡觉。他昨天晚上9点3刻睡觉。She went to sleep at 9:45, 3/4 past 9. Is that how it wants it? Last night. 昨天 yesterday 晚上 evening. She went to sleep at 9:45. Now, okay, fine. But Your Honor.
明天早上10点1刻我会去工作。
Just word bank it. 明天早上 tomorrow morning 10点1刻 10:15 我会去 I will go 会去工作 go to work at a quarter past 10 tomorrow morning.
9点差1刻。
9点差1刻 So it's 9 o'clock lacking a quarter. Okay, Levi says, let me just do this one real quick. A quarter to 9 o'clock. Regular 仓颉 does not seem orange. Okay, interesting. Perceptual difference. Kind of burnt orangey in my eye. I think it is brown, maybe tan. Up to you. Thank you for your permission. Last letter should be R. Yes. But I don't know if there is a silk button. There is indeed. In fact, I recently had kind of an insight about that. By silk, we mean. So here's the traditional shape. Somewhat distorted. It's got xiao shape there on the bottom. These 6 strokes. Right, this one. It's the simplex. The modern simplified script makes it just 3. Does that even occur? Well, as a component, just those 3 shapes. So here we have an incomplete character there for like teaching purposes. But we're really talking about the traditional shape. It breaks down into, so there. This is a V. The kanaku is the first one that we write for the woman, so it makes sense that it's in the V group. This is, oops, excuse me, this back and forth, that's with the following, these 2 together, that's an I. The elbow-shaped I variant, and then these 3 below is F, and that's how we write it, V-I-F. I was always thinking that this middle, the top of the blue one was just ignored and it was the dot, but this whole thing is that mu shape that is an I variant. So it's ku from V, mu from I, and xiao, which is F. That's our silk button, these keystrokes. So for gay then, in the green window, first one's V and R. That's the second one here. We also have that for Zhu. It's just those 2 components. Here with more in between. Right, so what's going on in the green window is to retrieve a character, we just input the first component that you would write and the last. These all end in the box-shaped mouth and begin with some variant of letter V, nu. And probably more. So if you've got a sequence of more than one character, it's a very elegant, fast way to retrieve characters. But here, it's a good tool to sort of introduce you to writing characters as ugly as they are. They are at least recognizable, and show you the order in which they should be written. And so VR for gay.
他昨天晚上9:03睡觉。
他昨天晚上9:03睡觉。Wait, she went. 昨天晚上 can only be in the past. To sleep at 9:45 last night. Save there, good. Okay. Let us now turn to Irish. Syntactically, the hardest one, I would say, for me to really get a handle on.
Ungapanche?
Ungapen. He, subject, does he think? Gapen. So a mutated one is shown by the spelling, but that's not the basic form. The basic one is that inner letter C, K sound, Kya. And the outer one is how it actually is pronounced here, not a sequence of 2 stops. So Levi says, in full Cangjie, do you write the F in simplified? There's no xiao anymore in that excellent observation, and I don't know the answer. Let's see. It would just be, what would that be? No longer an I variant. I is defined by the dot, and that would lack it, right? So this is what I mean. Again, simplified is that same V, but then this shape, and then an upward line. This would be an M. So is that also a woman? Is it VVM, maybe? Now this, oh, there we go. I think that the question was, do you write F? No, it's not an F, that's an M. So the M for one generally is flat, but if it's also an upward type stroke at the end of a thing, like the ice radical, this bottom one is also entered as M. Close enough. And then this is a variant shape of M2. Does he think? Ungapanche. Kujimij Armilshine Arnaplati. Kujimij is going to be that we put our sweets on the plates. And worth noting that plotty P is not mutated. What case would that be?
Ungapantu?
Gapen 2. Gapen. Are you thinking? Do you think? Gap in my thinking. Capum, I'm thinking, I think. The basic shape here, nothing preceding it. Whereas in ungapen, the fact that the un is there and ends with a nasal seems as significant as affecting the initial sound.
Glinche ermadra.
She. He calls Aramadra the dog. Glinche.
Glinche ermadra.
So it's not a palatal E, it's Li or something.
Glinche ermadra.
Adamatra. He calls ad. It's basically what meaning? On? Calls on the dog. Kujen shi anlan arajinyar. She cooks soup, sauce. Kujen, she, what is it? Puts sauce on the dinner. There we go. Ajinyar is the her possessive. Kujen shi anlan arajinyar. Jinyar.
Fillion sé.
Fillion she. He returns? Yeah. Return fill.
Gleam mo
Gleam, I call. On my mother. Mawahir, the mutated M.
An Fillion siv.
Villian shiv. So mutated, you could say by the preceding word. Question particle. And that one was returning. Shiv, you plural. Do you return? Filium, I return. I think capum. CAP apostrophe EM. Capum.
Cuireann sé a chóta
Pujin she achota ad. He puts his coat, right? Achota, I think so. Masculine possessor. Ad on her. He puts his, no, just on himself. He puts his coat on. Puts on his coat. I think.
Fillion sí leis an muachil.
Filian she leis an muachal. So she, subject there, returns with the boy. Mutated here. Buachal, starting with a B, the basic shape. Nasalized by the preceding part. Muachal. Leis an muachal. Filian she returns with, that's the basic word, the boy.
Gleam tú dahir.
You call your father. Glean to dahir.
Gleam tú dahir.
Dahir. Glean to dahir. Dahir.
Gleam tú dahir.
Dahir. You call on, literally. Your father.
An gapan tú.
To do. Gap into. Gap, capan. CEAPANN. Cap. Stop base. Chip block. Conceive, think. Ah, cool. What a cool semantic development. Chip, like, make out of wood, I think. Chip, wood. Block out. Fashion, shape, invent, appoint, assign, conceive, think, mean, intend. Block the path. And the etymology there, kip, tree stump, stock, from kippus, stake. Okay. Quite a journey in terms of meaning, development. Oh, cool.
Xiao,
To be small. Always heard Buchal and Kalin have a morpheme in common. Archaic word for child, not sure if that's true. Well, I think Buchal is an old Indo-European word for shepherd. It sure looks like one. Buchal. Proto-Celtic Boukolios, Proto-Indo-European Guokolos, Guos, cow, quell, to revolve, turn around. Breton Bugal, Bugail, Bugail, or something, Bugail. shepherd, and ancient Greek bukolos, which we have in the word bucolic. Cowardly, not the bad kind, cowherdly. Gender singular buhala, noun plural buhali. Partial synonym garsoon. So, originally a herdsman, servant, male employee, and lad boyo. I love that. So probably, well, let's see, Colleen could still have a cognate. Let's just use this handy accented E in the pinyin keyboard. In Scottish Gaelic, I think it has a DH fricative spelled in the first syllable. Maybe not. Kalya maid and een diminutive. From servant girl is so if it's from the Indo-European quell root, no. Breton, possibly. Alright, so unknown really. Related to Breton plach, I don't know what that represents. Which cognates with, ouch. Latin pilex, concubine. Ancient Greek palake, young girl. So not according to this very well informed etymological speculation, but there's no final word on that. They certainly have some letters in common, but the double L in boy and the single L in girl don't look too similar to me. I don't know, maybe those could be related.
钟
Zhong for the clock and the bell, named for its sound likely. Zhong, I mean time. Zhong, so from left, xiao.
小时刻钟时
Shi, like originally season, hour, time now. 就 URL.
你每天用几个小时电脑？
你每天用几个小时电脑? How many? So, nice sequential sort of structure here. You, every day. Oh, never mind. The
用
they're separate phrases. Every day. Now, use how many hours computer? So, the time adverbial. In between there, the object of use
天
is the computer.
脑
So, how many hours a day are you on the computer? Kind of. Day, are you on the computer? How many hours do you spend on the computer every day? Okay, Your Honor. I'm too lazy to do any more than just copy this right now. I think I got it right. Do you like to eat Korean food or Japanese food? Alright, we get to write a lot. Do you like to eat Korean food or Japanese food? I guess we're going to spell those noun phrases out in full. So we're going to use the everyday verb, subject, object, word, order, ni. Oh, let's get rid of that. Like to eat, right? Do you like to eat? Like is 喜欢. So GR TR 喜. And we're doing simplified. That's the theme for today. Haven't ever done that on stream before, I think. So this has a nice simple letter E shape on the left and N-O on the right. 喜欢. Alright, do you like to eat? Eat is 吃. An R here. Oh, that's not right. 吃, okay, yeah, back that up. It's R and then O shape and then N. R-O-N, that's not well proportioned, but it retrieves the thing, so let's get rid of it. 你喜欢吃韩国 what do we say? 菜 or 韩国菜, let's say, yeah, dishes, cooked dishes. Okay, Han in the simplified is different on the right. The left, it's basically a JAJ sequence. And now it's written with these 3 parallels and a descender and a downward piercing L. Han. Okay, not the whole thing. Yeah, not this last one. Alright, Guo. Outer enclosure is a W. And then here it's jade inside, which would be MGI. To retrieve that. 韩国菜. Cai has the grass on top, a T shape. Then it has the plucking hand, a B shape. And a tree shape for the growing plant. So, grass, plucking hand, downward, this hand shape position. And mu for the plant, cai. 你喜欢吃韩国菜 or what was it? Japanese food? 还是 Right, the bu MF shape first. Outer enclosure Y. The input would be YMF. 还是 A M Y O is top to bottom. Is 是 日本菜 is Japanese food. 日 is the A component. The sun of the day. This one. This is the wider one. 约 日本 is put together from a D, tree shape, and M, the straight line. And then cai again. So T. Alright, Levi says, what is this one? Chia, it looks familiar. It is on Q Hanza. Yeah, chia to cut. In Japanese, kiru. Cai. Oh no, that last one got out of hand. Cai. So, I think that's what. Oops. Do you like to eat Korean food or Japanese food? 你喜欢吃韩国菜还是日本菜? Feels good. So, the most common one for this one is chia to cut. Hello there. Welcome. First time here? Either way, whether it is or not, what languages are you most interested in at the moment? Would you be most curious about? Chia there, first tone means to cut. We also have a reading chia. It's used in the expression yi. So with the numeral 1, yi chia means everything. Yi with a changed tone. Yi chia, everything. Is also with that same Hanzi character. So the stroke order there would be 7 shape is P in CJ input, then S, H. PSH writes that. There we go. 切切. Hao.
10请等我20分钟
请等我20分钟. Please wait for me for 20 minutes. Please wait me 20 minutes. Wait for me for 20. Yeah, either one with 4. 小
小
small, and the rest we've seen. 小
小
C. 中
中
秒
秒时
hour time. 课
课
你每天用几个小时电脑？
你每天用几个小时电脑? Now, I don't quite recall. So yeah, a lot of these are sort of on the periphery of my memory. So I thought it'd be good to review them. Dian now. Let's do it the orthodox way. Dian, refresh. With the rain on top. Dian for lightning. It's MB. And then W for the field shape. U is Dian. Now is predicted here. So we could look at it. That's nice. It means brain, basically. It's got B. And then maybe VVW. There it is. V, maybe for the first two of the top three, or the first and last there, and then W because it's an enclosure on the bottom. For brain. Electric brain. Lightning brain. That could also be a gloss for Dian now. So we're going to try to find the simplified form of that. Let's just look at it. So Dian loses its rain, and this one, okay, it's just a lid, a Y with a K crossing in the middle and a U mountain shape below. So on the right there of now, Y, K, U. Let's hear it again, what we're supposed to write.
你每天用几个小时电脑？
You, every day, use how many hours computer? D, O, N, F. 每天 O shape there, a W enclosure, and then it's Y because that's their I would be, so O, W, Y, I is the sequence here, 每天. Oh, here, yeah, here it is. 清除一切, clear everything, clear all is this button. Good question, Lima. Always good to ask. 你每天 is M, straight line on top, and then K, the big shape. 每天用. So I might not have thought to put the verb use right here. It's BQ. 几. So the simplified for how many is HN, this shape, the table. 几个. This would be OL. 几个小. So small, 时 are hours. And 时 is simplified by omitting the sun, just the A. Sorry, not the sun, the earth. And then the inch shape, which is DI. ADI here for 时. 你每天用几个时? 几个小时? How many hours? 电脑. 电. Just this enclosure and a through line there. No rain. And then now. Okay. B on the left. A Y lid. K crossing lines. And a U bottom enclosure. Now. We don't need a question particle because we have the pronoun in there. 几, question pronoun. 原文 restores it to the traditional. So, let's compare it again.
你每天用几个小时电脑？
用几个小时电脑？
小
时
时刻秒钟。你每天用几个小时电脑？
That was the one I saved, right? So how many one is so different compared to the traditional? Yeah, that's not graphically derived. That substitution happens because they were sound alikes. It's a homophone substitution there. So that one you're talking about, is it VIDI? The traditional shape of G, how many? No. VI HI is what it is. V, so H for this one below the halberd, V for the first, I for the halberd shape there, HI for the lower portion. I think. There's other ways it could be. I'm not too sure how it's particular. It could be V for the first one here, I for the end on the right here, H there, and then an I? Is that right? Many ways you, but maybe just best to remember this sequence, Vihi, almost as in Bahuvrihi. So here it's going to be, of course, VI6, second one that pops up. These probably are biased toward the most frequent ones on top of the list. These much rarer ones. This is the thumb, mother. No, that's the mother. One, that's a mother word. There's this that reminded me. I'm just confusing it with QI. For the thumb is written with hand on the left, mother on the right. It's the mother of the fingers. A nice metaphor. Pronounced as mu. Etymologically related there to the word mother. Okay.
美
Oh, that was right. Yeah. Let's get on with that. How many hours do you spend on the computer every day? Oh, clunky English. Okay, quick breather. Let me leave you with my associate here. And turn on some sound.
Eu entendo os animais.
Eu entendo os animais. Entendo.
Eu entendo os animais. Entendo.
Not a real N there in syllable 2.
Eu entendo os animais.
About the first one, entendo sounds like a real N with contact and full sealage. But entendo seems to color the vowel instead. This N, somewhat like in French. I hear, understand. Entendre, the French cognate means hear, perceive with hearing. And entender in Spanish, cognate there means to understand. The animals. Who's the definite one?
Os.
Nós caminhamos.
Take me to there, please. Nós caminhamos.
Nós.
Caminho, I think. Caminho for the road, and this is a verb derived from that. What's the deal? Nós caminhamos.
Nós caminhamos.
Caminhamos. So this palatal N written nya seems to be a bit weakened as well, lenited, with incomplete closure of the oral passage.
Nós caminhamos.
And the nasal quality is
Caminhamos.
affecting the preceding E. Nós caminhamos. We walk. We are walking. Eu. Okay, it's got to be ending in O, because that agrees with subject I. I understand the animals. Eu entendo os animais.
Os meninos colocam sapatos.
Colocam. It's going to be collect, gather.
Colocam.
Put on. Okay, let's quieten that. How many languages am I learning? Yeah, on Duolingo, about 35-ish, I think. All the ones that they offer. How about you? There's a few I know pretty well. I've spent a lot of time studying Chinese over the last 15, 16 years-ish. Chinese and Japanese, invested some effort in. Currently learning Korean here at the school where I teach. Spent a lot of time in Germany. Grew up there from ages 10 to 20. Learned Latin and French through German, so I know all of those fairly well. And the idea with this channel, this project, is to kind of show how easy it is to become what I think of as a super learner with Duolingo, because it's just freely available. You can devote as much time as you like to any one of them. It gives you lots of practice with the vocab and sentence patterns and so on. So to show that it's possible, I'm doing it. Let's continue with time.
整
Jung, can you like clean up, pick up, arrange? Basically correct, I think. Jung on the bottom. So Levi, how'd you put this one in? Or anyone who knows. In CJ, give me the express one. Awfully small. Let me at least enter it. Can you blow it up? On your device. Oh no, when I do that, the chat goes away. That's no good. It's happened before. Sorry, I know this isn't riveting to watch, probably. Nuts. Watch over here again. It's just out of my line of sight. Okay. Oh, it's back. Also good. Oh, by the way, Levi, thank you for texting me about not seeing the chat. I'm glad you cleared that up. I'd hate to miss everything. Okay, where are we? Zhang, third tone.
现在几点钟？
Tidy would be a good class for that one. 现在几点钟? How many drops on the clock? Drops of the bell, maybe. Means what time is it now? As for now. Zhang. From left, we've got 课.
课钟
时.
时整。你太晚了。
It's not Taiwan, it's Taiwan. Too late. You're too late. 你 topic you and le signals like perception of a change of state, more or less. First element of Zheng. Good. Strikes a combination of Dong and Zhong. It is, indeed. Well put. Let's look at that on its own, of course. In Changjie, tree is the basic one, and then in that middle section, that's an L, that's a middle. A Zhong. So just DL to write that. DW for the tree, for east rather. If I use caps, right, yeah, it shows us DW. Here's the keystrokes for those. That is shu, a bundle. So it's plant stalks with a little string around it, is the picture there. Good. So this tells us what the first one will be for the whole character. That right component is okay, this guy. And then the final one is zheng. The Taiwan, you're too late. Wan, third tone.
请早一点到。
请早一点到. Early, a little bit, arrive. Please arrive a little sooner. A bit sooner. Please arrive earlier. That's good there. So, meow.
秒
Second time, 钟.
钟时
Referring to time.
整小。现在2点整。
It's 2 drops. Precisely. It's 2 sharp. 2 o'clock sharp. Okay, Your Honor.
我明天很早要上班。
我明天很早要上班。
我明天很早要上班。
I'm going to work very early tomorrow. Early. 我明天很早. We're going to write that all by hand. 我, and I'll call it the CJ components as we go. HQ. Really? Let's see. Move this down here. Start Okay, much better. Don't have my elbow resting awkwardly. H, and then Q for the hand shape. I, H, Q, I, 我明天 I wonder if this will recognize phrases too. Ming, clear and bright. Let's undo those last two. Should not cross the line. No, it only wants single characters at a time. Ming, Tian, M, K. Ming, of course, is A, B. As we mentioned earlier.
我明天很早要上班。
很早, very early. H, O. An A shape over here. And V below. H, O, A, V. 很早 as the sun on top, A. And the J crossing lines below. 很早上班 Is there anything else there with it?
我明天很早要上班。
要上班 So 要, the helping verb, will, intend to, and so on. Okay, so that's an MW, abbreviated on top, V below, I believe, MWV. Not quite what I'm after. To write, 要 MWV. Yeah, that's the one. 上班, go to work. The 上 part is the top character used as a verb of motion. Toward, always naming a destination. 班, I get several lookalikes here, or similar written ones confused. But this is MG, IL, skip that, and a G. So MGILG, that's terrible. Like it's McGill, MGILG, that's it. Ban, these are not a phrase, just two that I'm looking up here. 明天很早要上班 Go to work early tomorrow.
我明天很早要上班。
Have to go to work. 要 can also mean obligation.
我昨天很晚回家。
我昨天很晚回家。By the way, Levi, we saw an excellent looking Korean syllable in class today. Pronounced yut. What's that figure? Okay, looks like gui to this device, and shi. To me, looks a bit like a child standing on a dog. Didn't do those last two very good. Better. Let's see, how would it look on a device? It would be centered there. Yeah, with this stroke. So kind of like da there on the bottom, or even chen for dog. This is of course, so let me put it in Hangul. It's Y-U-C-H. Yut. Yut. And the bottom there looks like this character would in CJ be I on top there, K, but written the other way around for the dog. Quan. And Confucius himself said the ancients must have had strange-looking dogs. 我昨天很晚回家. I'll be home late tomorrow night. silly me. 昨天
昨
went home late yesterday. So the verb itself doesn't tell us anything about tense. We just
昨
ideally identify the meaning of the word correctly. Yesterday, not tomorrow. And then we'll put a past tense.
我明天很早要上班。
English. 我明天很早要上班。I must go to work early. Now this 明天 tomorrow.
4点整我要到医院。
4点整我要到医院。整 this use.
整
Okay, it's going on 点。
点
4 o'clock sharp. I need to arrive at the hospital. And these are just transitive or auxiliary verbs. This 要 takes a verbal phrase as its complement. 到 is a transitive verb of arriving at a place, so locative too. 4点 At 4 o'clock, I need to arrive at the hospital. Put that first. At the hospital. Get to the hospital. At 4 o'clock sharp. Okay, once the o'clock.
现在2点钟。
现在2点钟。Structure, topic, 现在 now. The rest comment. It is 2 o'clock. It is 2 o'clock now.
他每天很早起床。
他每天很早起床。很早 is it 早 sounding rising?
他每天很早起床。
很早起床。
床起
She every morning, every day, very early, gets out of bed. She gets up. The 很 kind of very, but really a little bit softer. We can leave it untranslated. She gets up early every day.
9点整我们要到学校。
9点整 Maybe that's the topic. 我们要到学校 We will arrive. Will or need to. Will arrive 学校 at school at 9 o'clock sharp. We have to be at the school. Yarana. I don't know. Maybe so. I feel mine is also satisfactory. It is a factory where they make satis. It is satisfactory. Will arrive. We have to be at there. Yeah. Be there by 9点整 9 o'clock sharp. 我们要到 So 要 really is kind of be needed. That's not wrong.
我们下午3点钟会见朋友。
下午 afternoon 3点钟会见朋友。会 just general future expectation. We will see friends at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Please, 3 in the afternoon.
昨天晚上他很晚睡觉。昨天晚上他很晚睡觉。
很晚睡觉 She went to bed very late. Went to bed late is fine. 昨天晚上 last night, yesterday evening. Late last night.
现在2点整。
现在2点整 So sequence of third tones here. 2点整 It is now 2 o'clock sharp. O'clock sharp.
我昨天很晚回家。
很晚回家 Change tone there. 我昨天很晚回家。I 昨天 yesterday. Home late yesterday.
现在2点钟。
现在2点钟。It's 2 o'clock now.
9点整我们要到学校。
9点整，我们要到学校。Yeah. Have to be at the school by 9 o'clock sharp.
我们下午3点钟会见朋友。
It's a bird banquet. 我们下 so 3 p.m. We'll see friends. Okay, no. We will see a friend at 3 in the afternoon. 3 afternoon. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.